I tell you, it was the best poem I'd ever written. But I couldn't actually write it down. I'd love to recite it, but now it is where it is, which is somewhere much more enlightened. I learned a meditation technique. It's a valuable practice to assist with the practice of living. Participants must remain in the program disciplined for 10 days. It's very difficult in many ways. One of the requirements is absolute silence at its finest. There's no interaction. There's no reading or writing, no pens or paper, no reciting poetry or mantras or prayers. On day 1, I did Tai Chi and my head got fed up with the mind chatter, couldn't let up the inner banner, discouraged from this painful practice as the mind continued to race faster, filled with excitement but mostly dread for the 10 days ahead. I did all 108 moves of Tai Chi, but only in my head. On day 3, I was back in grade 3. I could feel the heat of my feverish grade 3 girlfriend on my lip. I remember she had a high fever and I really wanted to kiss her. She told me not to in a playful kind of whisper. She didn't want to get me sick, but we kissed anyways and it was totally worth it. On day 4, I learned I was there to be still. I was scared to be still, and I learned how to be still, to begin the long process of a mental refill, top up the gas tank of the mind, observe the rickety wheels of this human being, hubcaps hanging on for dear life as we coast over a rocky traverse. I learned how to observe my breath. With patience and respect, the sound and sensation, ripples of time across the upper lip, I felt lighter. During a rest period walk, eyes closed, I tried to decipher the babbling creek and the 2-lane road that passed by there with all the silence. That two-lane road was as busy as a 6-lane. That creek babbled loud as a roller coaster, and it was therapy. It listened better than any partner I've ever known. It showed more patience than I give myself. It continued to change and to move, and it moved, and it moved me. I started writing poetry in mind. The bell that summoned us to group meditations became as soothing as my dad's voice singing, Numi, Eitan, Eitan, Sheli. And my mother telling me everything's okay when I woke up from that terrible nightmare when I fell off a chairlift. Safe, calm, back to sleep. I no longer held a grudge against my grade school bullies, forgave the brothers for picking on me, felt compassion for my angry coworker, felt for him and his instability. I wished him well and equanimity, but Vipassana meditation taught me one main thing, and that's impermanence. Because the next thing I knew, I resented everyone. That bell was an 18-wheeler encroaching on heels, driving just faster than appeals, demanding attention with intention, but I resisted how it feels. The mind wanders slowly until it picks up the pace. Then the mind would race. Now it's occupied. Now I'm preoccupied with it racing. I'm getting dehydrated. Note it. Slow it down. Bring it back around and rest by observing the body, observing the breath. On day 1, I was to be there for 10 days. It seemed like forever. It seemed like today would never come. On day 11, I went home. I sat down. I tried to write. I tried to remember that one poem that I wrote in my mind, but it was gone. I still remain grateful that it came into my life, and I moved on.